Hey guys, so I'm going to be going over some questions that I asked my doctor. Meanwhile, I'm going to play our trip to Mexico and the Airbnb place, kind of like everything that I was going through the day before the surgery. And I'll just go ahead and play that on the background, just kind of a heads up. Hope you enjoy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, or maybe just ladies, I don't know. So this is post-op day 6. I believe it's Thursday. I had it on Friday. And I'm going to pretty much jump right into this. And I'm just going to go over some questions that I asked my doctor. So, sorry, my hair is a hot mess. Really quick, I have showered 2 times within the last week, and I have not washed my hair. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So I had a mommy makeover, lipo 360, upper lower, abs, the sides, upper lower back, my arms, and my inner thighs, the tummy tuck, do the corset on the inside for the muscles. If you've done a little bit of research, you kind of know what that is, but they pretty much just sew your muscles together on the inside, and then they take a whole bunch of fat, usually from like your belly button to like your pubic bone, and they just kind of like get rid of that. And then I had a breast lift. They did the incision on like the nipple area, and so they made the nipple area smaller, and they lifted it up, but because it was a tubular breast, they had to, I don't know, they had to like lift it some type of way, and then they put the implant on the bottom to kind of lift the breast up a little bit. So my initial weight going into this was 157, and I'm 5 foot even. So I'm gonna go get into some questions that I asked the doctor, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So I did ask my doctor if I can get the fat transfer to my breast, because that's what I initially wanted to do, was just get the transfer from the lipo, just how they do the BBL. I wanted to do it to my breast, and that way I could lift them up. That he would not recommend it because the fat in the breast is different than the fat anywhere else in the body. Because I have breastfed before, it creates certain kind of bacteria to help lactate. And I might be saying this all wrong, but this is how I kind of understood it, was that if I injected the fat into my breast, then there would be a possibility to trigger the lactation and to trigger those kind of bacteria, and it could get really infected. So the probability of that happening was a lot more. So he suggested to do the implants instead. That's kind of what I went off of. He's a really good surgeon as far as like doing breast. He specializes in the tubular kind of breast. I asked him if I would lose feeling in my nipples. He said because they're not taking them completely off, they are just cutting the areola, taking part of the areola out, and then just kind of re-sewing it together. I would not lose any type of like feeling. Sometimes they are numb in the beginning, and then they regain their sensitivity. Having gone through it already, the first day I could feel my nipples. Like even like now I can feel them. The day after, he was like, oh, touch your nipples and tell me like from 1 to 10, can you feel it? And I said, yeah, absolutely, I can definitely feel it. I'm pretty sure that ranges from person to person. I did ask him if the implants would be underneath my muscle or on top. So he said that because of my body shape, my breast, it would be on top of the muscle. They didn't necessarily need to cut inside. I didn't need that. So what kind of implants were they going to use? The brand that they use is called Motiva. I did take a picture of it when I was on, I took a picture of it. And it is a silicone implant. It's not the watery kind. It's the gummy bear one, and then it's textured on the outside. I asked him how long the scar would be. So initially he had said from the beginning of the pubic bone to the beginning of the other pubic bone. But once I got there and he kind of, carved me out or fixed me up with a marker, then wherever the fat kind of like folds, that's where they will end the incision, just to kind of get everything in there and get you as flat as you can. So I guess it was a little bit bigger than what I anticipated, what he had told me. But going in there and having him draw everything out, it did change. I mean, it's not a big deal for me. I did ask him how noticeable the scar will be, because I did see some pictures that were like really bad. The scar doesn't fade away until a year later. He said I can come back within about like a year, 8 months, and get the scar tissue on the top removed. So they would just be removing like a little piece of skin to make the scar less noticeable if I was not happy with it. So I thought that was really awesome. I didn't know that they could do that. I initially didn't want a tummy tuck because I had a C-section before, and I didn't want to make that scar bigger because that scar was really thick. And so what he did was he told me to, he took away the C-section scar. So he cut a little bit underneath where the C-section scar was, and just took that completely away. So I was actually pretty happy with that. I asked him how often would I need to change the implants, and how would I know to change the implants. So I have seen some people say like, oh, well, I don't know if it's people, but I've heard that like there's implants that just are a lifetime. And he was like, well, that's kind of not correct. Every implant needs to be changed. He's like usually about 10 years, but you'll tend to notice either your breast will start to get really, really thick, or they'll start to build like a capsule. Sorry, that hurts. Like a capsule around it. Then you'll have to change it out. But it kind of varies, I guess. But usually they last about 10 years. And I asked him what kind of tests I had to do before surgery. He said I had to do my complete blood count. So it's just your regular, you go in, get some blood drawn, and then they tell you like how you are with your iron and everything, bleeding time, counting time. I think it's called the PTO time. I had to get that, and then I had to get the PCR test, which is the COVID test. So I took the blood count test about a month before. It came back that I was a little anemic, so he got me on some iron and some, I think it's called like acid something. It was like some pills. And by the time that I took it again, because they had you take it right before surgery, for me it was Thursday, the day before surgery, just to make sure everything's okay. Everything came out perfect. So we caught that right on time. Did give me a price range, and he said it was going to be about $7,000, including this was including lab test, faja, consultations, the medical team, the one night post-op in the hospital. They did bill me separately for the hospital. The hospital was about 1800. And then for like the lipo 360, the breast lift, the tummy tuck, that was about 5100. So yep, that was pretty much it. So I'm gonna do another video of my post-op day 1, right before surgery, day 1, day 2, and I think day 3. I'll just put that in one video, and then I'll do a follow-up after that. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you got any good information. Ask me some questions too, because I know there was so much stuff that was going on during this process that I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know about this. So yeah, and I'll kind of like run through it once I get the videos going. So just come back and I will see you soon. Oh, and I will post my next video by next Friday. So this will hopefully go up, and then next Friday I'll go ahead and paste the other one. And so I'll try to post once a week, just along my just about how my recovery is going. Okay. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.